Hunting is in my family's blood, and for my father Greg and I, it's our whole way of life. This is our playground and these are our adventures.
Oh yeah, baby.
Paddle hard, go right.
Oh, look at that chamois. Is that the big buck? Which one is it?
You just poleaxed him.
Great shot, roll him over. Oh, what's that? Yoo-hoo, 14-inch bull.
This is NZ Hunter Adventures. This week we'll be trying our luck during the Red and Sika roar in the central North Island. As this country is heavily forested, we use trail cams to track animal activity to give an indication of the quality of stags in the area. The AJ's trail cams that were set up in Julian's red block suggested that the roar was now in full swing, with a lot of wallowing and roaring being captured on camera. But of even more interest was a great couple of stags that had been captured, including a solid 11-pointer and a gnarly old 13-pointer. We were soon on the road and kicking off our North Island bush roar trip.
It's the 11th of April, which should be the heart of the red stag roar in the North Island, and we've trucked on up to catch up with Julian, and we're hunting hopefully roaring red stags in the Kaiwai Mamaku Forest Park.
It's just the three of us this trip, so we'll be taking turns on the camera. And guess who drew the short straw? Me. So I'll be up first. We've also got Major, the Chessie, along for the trip, and we've got all our gear on our backs for 2 days, so we're just going to be hunting around through the bush, chasing the stags and camping where we get to. Let's get into it.
Pretty typical for this area to get that swirling wind.
Yeah.
But I think what we'll do is just quietly work our way through the block, through territories, and 10th of 11th of April today, so if something makes some noise, we'll be into it.
Then try and hopefully work the wind out. It's not too bad after all this rain. It's pretty quiet going underfoot at least.
I think a lot of this dripping as well will mask our
Noise,
sound working through.
We've worked our way around to an area where Julian's got onto stags previously, so it's time for the first roar of the trip. I don't think I want to compete with that S-bend roarer.
$15.99.
I notice you're roaring quite quietly. You like to keep the roars so they don't go too far in here.
This country's very undulating.
Yeah.
And just in the past, just haven't got a response. You know, roaring, you have to be up close a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Just little moans.
Yeah. And we're just sort of working at a hollow at a time, aren't we? So you just want the roar to go into that hollow, not go too far so you don't run into them coming towards you.
And you don't want to, you roar too much, too loud. This time of year, the stags just push their hinds away, sometimes silently, so you don't even know they're there. So you might as well get into the territory, get nice and close, so he has to react.
Yeah, exactly. You might, with a bit of luck, they'll be on the upwind side of us when we hit them. Oh, GPSs have revolutionised bush hunting in this sort of flat rolling country. This makes it so much easier to keep track of where you're going and not get temporarily disorientated. The wind's right now anyway, so it's got to be a start.
These deer will be sitting and standing in the sun, making the most of that sunshine.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah.
Might sneak up to those clearings.
Just as the guys had predicted, for one animal the sun had proved too much to resist.
Looks a bit staggy. Well, how tight is this?
There's a stag sunning itself on this clearing, but we can only see its hindquarters. I'm just going to try and sneak through and get a different line in it.
Man.
It's a stag. It's not bad, mate.
Man. Man.
It's a young stag.
Man.
The stag eventually twigged something was up and made a hasty departure off the clearing and back into the bush.
That was just a classic, wasn't it? Just a classic.
About a minute before we said, with this rain overnight, cold conditions,
The bush all been cold,
stags, they'll be on the clearings. And
standing in the sun.
a minute later,
There was one.
there was a rump sitting there, standing there. The rest is history. Not good enough to shoot.
2 or 3 year old 8-pointer he was.
Beautiful potential.
Yeah. You'll see there, Julian and I were pretending to be a hind and a fawn. Julian was being the hind with the,
Man.
and I was being the fawn with the. And it's far less intimidating for a stag, particularly a young stag, if you don't sound like a big old stag. And any stag can't resist coming to have a look to see what a hind and a fawn's up to, just in case the hind's in season.
Must be getting on late morning, but peak of the roar, should be some activity right through the day, so we'll just keep
particularly
moving through.
It's cool. It's a cool morning after several days of heavy rain, so it'll be an action day. The stags will be going around all day today, redoing their rut pads and re-scenting things up.
$12:30.
Well, we found this nice sunny clearing that's had some heat in it for a little while, so the grass is dry, so might be time.
For a doer.
You read my mind. It's just a bugger, they're not roaring more, eh? That's what we're missing.
We've just finished our leisurely lunch in this clearing and we've retired the old bugger to the camera. Time for some fresh legs and young eyes and hopefully a bit more luck than this morning. It's predominantly a regrowth forest in here with a lot of younger trees, but there's still the old big who are like this massive matai. I'm not a tree hugger, but we can fit around half of it, so it's a big sucker. That's Julian, but we think we've heard a stag roar. We're not sure how far away, but maybe a couple hundred metres, so we're just gonna get in closer. 3:30 PM and the bush is very dark now. Heap of fresh tracking. What do you reckon?
We'll let out a roar just up here.
Despite Julian's best effort to rack him up, we never received another reply from the stag.
I think we'll just keep cutting through territories and something hopefully will make some noise.
Unbelievable. There's no wind. It just feels like something should be going off, something should be roaring. But apart from those 2 early roars we've heard, nothing, zilch. It's 4:30, an hour and a half of probably shooting and filming light left. So we'll see if the young guns can pull their finger out. Just get him away.
that's it for today.
We never caught up with that stag. We heard her hindbark and we're picking she's leading the stag away. But we found water. Muddy wallow water, but water all the same. So I think we'll just find a flat spot and put up the tent fly for the night.
I've had a trail camera on this wallow for about 2 weeks. Picked up a nice 10-pointer and picked up a very, very big pig. Probably the biggest pig I've seen in this bush. Maybe 200 pound, maybe up to 250. You be the judge.
Venison and bacon burgers for breakfast.
Oh well, so much for the young guns been going to play merry hell this afternoon. The 3 stags we got onto today were all this morning. Anyway, we camped in a primo spot tonight. There's not a breath of wind. Hopefully we're going to be kept awake all night with roaring. And it's time for some roast lamb and vegetables. Tomorrow's another day. Nothing wrong with that. It was a very quiet night. Camped right in the middle of red stag country like this. You expect to be kept awake on the 11th of April, and we think maybe we might have heard a couple of possible roars and we don't even know about that. So things are very quiet.
Hopefully the calm before the storm.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to crank up.
It's the morning of day 2, 8 a.m. Dad loved his time on the camera so much that he's volunteered to have another crack, and we've heard one stag this morning, so that's the plan. We're going to go chase him up.
We don't know where he's gone, so we'll just keep on moving and hopefully we catch up with him the next hour.
We're still heading in the direction of where we heard those roars from camp, but we just thought we'd explain how we're hunting with the wind. So we've come onto a bit of a knob. We've got a prevailing westerly wind coming up this side of the knob, but as soon as we drop over this back side, there'll be a back eddy coming up. So how do you reckon we should approach that with our hunting?
Yeah, Willie, we'll use that back eddy, stay up high on the leeward side, and that will give us a chance to hear from this side here. Once we've done that, we'll cut over on top of the ridge, we'll hit that prevailing wind, and then we get another bite of the cherry. So we'll end up doing a bit of a loop right round.
Sounds good. That's bush hunting 101 with the wind, something you've got to think about constantly when you're up close in the bush. We've done our circuit round and we're now on the other side with the westerly wind coming up. We don't want to put any pressure on our master guide, but we haven't got onto a stag yet.
That's raw hunting. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not.
There's a bee. We've heard logging trucks, we've heard bees, we've heard cows. They all sound like roaring stags. We're desperate. He tells us they're roaring their guts off just a few days ago. We'll keep trying. We're just coming onto a good grassy clearing.
I had a trail camera here for about 10 days. Last few days of March into April. On that tree, a low angle, onto this wallow which is now a pond. And we picked up a few nice animals, including an 11-pointer. The 11 was quite a nice animal, had all its lower tines very strong, and was just missing one of his tops. So he's probably a candidate if we bump into him in the next half hour. He's made a pad on the other side of the clearing, and then he's come here to use it to drink and a little bit of wallowing. Hasn't been too much wallowing in this wallow this year.
Dog's winding, maybe he's just off in the bush.
So we're picking there hasn't been any hinds cycling in this area we've been hunting in the morning. Plenty of animal activity in terms of foot traffic, but nothing vocal. So we'll just carry on into a new area in the afternoon, and it only takes one hind to be in heat and she's all on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we haven't struck roaring yet, but we could go around the next corner, there could be hind cycling, and there'll be roaring activity, so we'll just keep plodding on.
With lunch over, it's the old farts back on the job, so now we'll get amongst them this afternoon for sure.
We've got a bad wind. We've got about 2 hours to get the footage before it's dark, so better get going.
No pressure.
Murphy was still on our back, and despite all the animal sign, any roaring activity was completely non-existent.
Oh, I can't believe it, eh? I honestly cannot believe it. Back to the drawing board.
We spent a couple of days chasing around the reds in this bush, but other than those 3 stags yesterday morning before lunch, we haven't got near one since. We've heard 2 stags roar very vaguely a couple of times today, and that's it. We haven't even bumped it here today, have we? Haven't seen a bit of brown hide. So 11th, 12th of April should have been peak of the red roar. No, she's not happening here yet. Anyway, that's all good. We're pulling out and we're heading south and into some Sika country for a few days, so we'll see if they're on time.
Our second destination for the trip was the bush-clad Ahimanua Ranges, renowned for producing some big Sika trophies over the years. The UO Vision trail cam we had running in the area showed that the stags were busy making rut pads and scenting up their territories. The roar also looked to be in full swing, with both territory hee-haw calls and the more aggressive single calls being captured on camera. A sight to get the heart pumping of every Sika hunter. And with a good number of hinds in the area to occupy the stags, it looked like we might be in the money.
We've trucked south from the Kaimais, and Julian's picked up his mate Shane, and now we're in the Ahimanuas for the Sika roar, and this is the first Sika roar I've done for the year. That was a pretty rusty one, didn't get very high, did I?
Still sounded the part though. I replied to my roar. I'll reply to that. Haven't drunk enough tea this morning. My voice isn't lubricated enough. Nothing here, so we're heading north. Upwind. Somewhere that way.
We're heading that way. Well, that's the first Sika reply for the year. He's single called out over that way a couple of times. Not much else happening though. We were going to go this way, but if the roaring's that way, we're going that way. He's coming through too clear, he's not on this side.
No.
He's on that other side.
He must be, I reckon he's on that first spur which comes down.
It might be even that one we can see. I don't know if you can see the one through there. Just trying to figure out just which ridge we think he's on, but he's going quite well. We've heard him roar.
Just stay above him.
Oh, I'll definitely stay above him.
With the stag now on our radar, it was just a matter of pinpointing his roar.
I still think he's on that next face though. I hope he's lower than this, because we're going to struggle if he's up this height. We've had a major detour because we don't have a thermal or a back eddy yet. We've just got that gentle southwesterly drift going through.
That way we need to go that way.
Yeah, we need to go right more. No, there's two. There's two stags, isn't there? Which is what we thought initially. That one's not very far away. He's just down here. Yeah, we're definitely not going any further. We've got round above him now, and he's right where we thought he was on the top of one of these ridges, and he's going real well. He'd be inside 100 yards straight down here. We've now got the southwester quartering in on us. If there's any thermal, it should be coming up. If there's any back eddy, it should be coming up. We're pretty well positioned, and this ridge is reasonably clear. And the dogs very keen. So anyway, Shane and I are going to sit back and roar while Julian and Willie the cameraman go in.
Change of plan. I'll let Shane go on this one. I've got my eye on another stag.
Take it real easy.
Try and cut a bit of distance and see if we can get a shot away. That's the plan.
We dropped down to within 50 yards from the roaring we could hear and began a stakeout, hoping one of the stags would walk through into view.
I think he's just tucked up and over that next little blip there, isn't he? Shall we get Greg to give us a bit of a roll? Make sure we can pinpoint him a bit better, eh? Sounds like he's chasing a couple of lines around. I guess we're kind of hoping that he'll come in on us with Greg roaring at him, but touch and go. Just give it a couple of minutes here and see how we go. Two stags. One's just over in here. Another one's just below it. Just going to try and cut down 5 metres. Hopefully we can get a bit better view down the valley there and get into them.
Unfortunately, a hind not far below us and some thick cover had gone undetected, and with the shriek of a Sika alarm squeal, the game was most likely over.
Well, I don't like it when they do that. Must have been a hind sitting in a nice little sunny spot just below us. She's whistled at us, and I think we've heard them move over to the next little cut sort of thing, so better luck next time.
What happened?
Hind must have seen us. Just a nice real thick patch of stuff.
What was it?
Although disappointed about spooking the hub of morning roaring activity, we set up a trail camp in an attempt to catch a second glimpse of the stags
She's
and
alive.
look to lunch to raise the spirits among the team.
The thing about territories, people tend to think about stag territories the way a human thinks, and they're not. You know, they're not a plot of ground. Well, that's my territory. It doesn't work like that. It's just a general area that he leaves his pads around. We might as well just stalk our way roaring as we go round here, down and do about what you guys did.
The afternoon's hunting proved fruitless, and we were soon hacking a track back to camp in diminishing daylight.
We've filled our water bottles in the last creek we've crossed, and now we're climbing the last hill back up to camp. That's it for day one.
This beats our usual dry packet porridge, breakfast on the hill, fresh hot pancake and homemade raspberry jam.
Oh, that's pretty good. That is good.
You gotta shoot that big stag, you gotta eat well.
So second morning in Sika country. We heard a few single calls from camp early this morning. So we've just cut round a couple 100 metres. Yeah, it's the first raw Sika roar I've done in over a year, so it could be a little rusty. And if you haven't picked up, Dad's now on the camera and I'm running the roaring horn. No reply, but I think he's a couple more ridges round, so we'll just keep heading north. A couple more ridges round now. We've got a good clear patch right round in front of us, so time for another roar.
Although no reply was heard, Major's nose was telling us that something had snuck in to investigate my roar.
Nothing in reply to my roar, and then we just heard some movement in the fern. And next thing you know, a nice, how many points? Young 8-point stag just came round, was standing a mere 20 yards away. I was just doing some quiet mews and he was just standing there for about a minute. And then I think he finally figured out. He didn't like the look of us and he's just gone down the ridge, not too spooked up.
The stag had snuck back in for a second look and was very lucky he wasn't a few years older.
You can just see his right antler flicking a few ears looking at us. Pretty hard to see.
Eventually he gained some sense and moved away from the potential threat.
We just had a fantastic encounter with a lovely young stag. I'm Pawnee, you reckon, eh?
I recognise that stag. I'm pretty sure it was the same stag we saw last year, Willie.
As a 6.
As a 6.
Now he's a 9.
He's developing well.
We're after something a bit bigger and a bit more mature. Into some nicer beach country. It's a bit more open here, so I think I'm just going to give it 10-15 minutes, park up here from Muesli Bar, just see if we can hear the stag or if something comes up. No one home.
And that's the way hunting goes sometimes. Couldn't quite put it together on a good trophy stag over the last 2 days in this Ahamanawa country. Left a nice 3.5-year-old stag on the hill and he'll be a beauty in a couple of years. We're now packing up, we're going to relocate and try our luck somewhere else. Pulling out of the Ahimanawas, our last crack at the Sika roar was to be had in one of our favourite roar haunts at the foothills of the Kaweka range. Mum's trail cam had caught a magnificent looking stag on camera and she was eager to get in and have a look for him.
Oh, we've had a night at home, repack your gear and into the eastern Kawekas. Willie's had to stay behind to do a bit of work and Mum's tagging along instead. We heard a bit of roaring on the way in first thing, so we'll drop our gear around the corner here and go and see what we can get onto. It's pretty thick, mingy scrub rubbish country here, so it's real close encounter stuff, but makes it challenging. But we've got the master roarer on board.
I don't know about that. We've left our packs at camp. I'm number 1 shooter and roarer, and Greg's on the camera. We've heard a stag roaring down here. You might have just heard it. And so we're going to go in and have a look. Yes. got them all excited now. 2 stags down there, one doing the single call and the second one doing the hee-haw. The single caller sounded like it's about 100 metres away or so. So as the going isn't too bad down below, we're going to close the gap and see if we can find him. Some good rubbing up and down here. Hopefully it's a sign of an 8-pointer. He doesn't want to come and see me. Bugger. I have to go and see him by the looks of it. Let's go. Unfortunately, he's led us into some really scrubby, yucky, shitty stuff. He's got the upper hand on us now. He's moved further down, probably following a hind who doesn't want to be caught between 2 stags. So we're going to have to go down further. We've just heard him again, just above us, so we're going to try and climb out very quietly and see if we can catch up with him. He's gone above us now. Might have to change tactics. The wind's starting to swirl, so I don't like our chances.
This stag most definitely had a hind on heat and was going absolutely ballistic.
Coming back. Got it.
Where'd you hit him?
Between the eyes. I couldn't believe he came back into my wall again. I thought that was him gone, and I thought you were going to be pissed off with me.
Awesome 8-pointer. Well done, Pete.
That was the most amazing up close and personal hand-to-hand combat Sika hunt I think I've ever been on. Unbelievable. We stalked this stag for about an hour and a half down this valley. Got up on this terrace, Fee gave a roar, and you could hear him mewing and chasing his hind around in there, and then he just came right up 5 metres away. I had the camera on him, but Fee couldn't get a shot then, and he crashed off, and she roared again, and he came back up again, and she managed to shoot him. But I don't think I had him on film at the time of the shot. But anyway, that was hell of an exciting. He's a cracker stag, quite a small-bodied Sika stag, but a beautiful head on him. He's actually 9 points. He's got the classic 8 points, lovely brows, good trays, great outer tops and inner tops, and then he's got a little ninth tine off his brow tine there. So yeah, that's a hunt we won't forget in a hurry. As it turns out, Mum's stag was the exact same stag she had caught on her trail cam, given away by its unique basil snag. Time to load up and head for camp.
Looks like I'm going to have some fun getting this back to camp.
While Mum had been away hunting, her trail cam had also been busy, catching yet another good-looking stag on film. I began my walk in under the moonlight to join Mum and Dad for the following day. And as it turns out, I wasn't the only one looking for action, with Mum's trail cam capturing a very rare sight.
Dad rang me up yesterday after Mum got a good stag saying, "The stags are nutting off, get in here, they're roaring their tits off." So I finished my jobs, walked in late last night actually, early hours of the morning, under the moonlight, and I wasn't to be disappointed. They are roaring, they are going for it. So Dad's on the camera, I'm on the gun.
And I'll do the roaring. I got them yesterday.
Yeah. Mum's on a hot run, so she reckons she's going to bring them up to me. Let's go. Well, to cut a long story short, we couldn't quite get it all together on those bush stags. Got up close, lots of roaring, lots of action, but didn't get a glimpse of them. Anyway, Mum's decided she's got her stag. She's going to take antlers, pack, meat, head out tonight. That'll leave Dad and I to have one last crack in the morning because there's still a bit of action happening down there. So Major, it's down to the boys to finish the job.
Well, good luck.
We heard no roaring this morning, so we're going to head to a clay pan and overlook some of the broken scrub country. That'll give us something to look at, and hopefully we'll be able to pinpoint an animal and then go after him. Still no replies. It's all quiet this morning. So it's now 10 a.m. Been watching all the country. We've finally picked up a stag on one of our clearings here, 300 yards. A big uneven 6 by the looks of it, so hopefully today I can do the business. About level. Yeah, I'm ready, I'm on him. There's no windows here, just middle of the shop.
No windows, I can see the speaker. Bugger, he's turned away. Yeah, shoulder around our way.
You ready?
Yep.
Smocked him, Willie! Rolled him over!
Right.
Just rolled him.
We've done it.
Oh, baby. It's my dead stag.
He's down for the count.
He's absolutely out for the count.
Wow, we couldn't really ask for much more. We found a good mature stag, a bit wonky by the look, so a perfect one to take out of the gene pool. And I managed to make the shot before this wind got up. So the plan now is to whip down, grab him, and be back for lunch at camp. Where are you, Mum? Where is he? Where is he? Bye-bye GoPro. Good dog. What's that? Good dog. Mad Major found him, a pretty easy track. What a specimen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point Sika stag. Definitely needed removing from the breeding herd. And he's in pretty rough condition. He's been a busy boy over this raw, but he'll still make good casserole and plenty of good sausages. So let's get to it. Mum may have got the best stag for this raw, but Dad and I had the last laugh. All the meat's now in our packs, and that's the end of our raw hunting for this year. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Come on, Major. A massive thanks to our major partner Continuous Group, our retail partner Hunting and Fishing New Zealand, and the rest of the sponsor family who allow us to produce quality outdoor television. Thanks for watching.